battle starts.
Hello everyone, I am Van Rustic and today I am showing you a great game that I had in my Ryujo on the straight map. Uh, the Ryujo is a tier 6 Japanese carrier, and I actually hadn't played the Japanese carrier since the closed beta because uh, at the time when I tried it, both of them were parallel, as in the US torpedoes went parallel with each other. The Japanese torpedoes went parallel, but since there was only four, it made it really hard to hit anything. But uh, I didn't notice the change, and they all made it so that the Japanese torpedoes converge. So the further you are away from the drop point, the more narrow the torpedoes are. I didn't know that, but I just started playing it again, and I really like it. It's a lot more aggressive that you can be. So, going back to the game, I sent out my scout for just to find out where anybody was. I like to send my planes into the middle just to get any DDs that are trying to spot in the middle. However, I get a bonus because I find the enemy CV. I tried a strafing run on the enemy fighters, but I didn't quite do so well. I at least narrowed it down to 4, so that way it's an even fight, 4 on 4, and my planes should have more health. Granted, I lost one torpedo bomber, but he's still going to eat a couple torpedoes. Now, as you'll notice, my last torpedo plane or my last torpedo squadron is last. That's my mistake because in the beginning of a battle, I just go down the line, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I just select places where I want them to go. Sometimes I go too fast, and this game I went too fast and I skipped the number 3. But I got some good fires on the Independence. I got 2 fires on him, and I got some flooding before, so he used his damage control before, so now he's burning for 2 fires. Um, so he's a smart player. He went into this little narrow part where I cannot drop on him on a good broadside. So my plan is I'm going to dump some torpedoes at him at a long range. And this is what I'm talking about with this narrow, getting narrower as it gets further from the drop point. I made it so all 4 of those torpedoes are supposed to hit him right right where he was. However, what I should have done was just dropped right next to him to ensure a hit. But he backed away, he got out of it. But either way, he's still burning, so he's gonna get down. And it should be any time now. There it is. He burned to death from the 2 fires. So that's always a good result. So as you can see, we have a very angry Oba in the chat yelling at me to move north because, he knows better. I like to move my CV south, or just away from those narrow points on the E and F lines, just because destroyers and everybody can like to go there to spot, and there's so many islands that if you get caught there in the beginning of the game, you're just done for. So, like you can see, there's a battleship at E5. If I was stuck in the middle of those islands, I would have been done. So I like to give myself some space, see what the battle's doing, and then move accordingly. Granted, there's a Mitsuki here. He is spotting me, so it's a little bit dangerous. But thankfully, nobody's really shooting at me until now. I take some armor-piercing hits, so I'm not really worried about the fires. You might ask why I know it's armor-piercing. I have a mod that changes the color, so if you see shells flying around that are blue, they are armor-piercing. If they're red, they're high explosive. So I'm trying to help everybody on this flank, and in the best way I know how, and that's to use my staggering formation. I don't like to just group up all my planes at the same time because I feel like it's easy to miss, and also that way I don't always get to maximize on the damage per second or the ticks. So if I was able to set a fire with one plane or one squadron, and then it's still going to be like 10 seconds before the next one hits him, That way I at least get 10 seconds of fire before he automatically uses his damage control. So I get another good fire on that Kirov, sorry, I'm not Russian. And I'm trying to focus him down because he has the biggest guns that are aiming at me right now. Granted, there's a battleship, but he's not been shooting at me, so I want to get rid of him. And also, he's the one that's going in my direction. I do a good drop on these two destroyers. I really wish I could have gotten the other one, but at least I get this one. So, you know, 1 out of 2, it's, you know, a dead destroyer is a dead destroyer, which is always good as a carrier. Of course, he's still pushing at me, so I need to threaten him with my planes. So he's actually moving, but the replay is a little buggy. So you'll see him jump a little bit. There it is. I don't know why the replay is doing that, but so I'm trying to get a good position, and I'm also trying to decide if I want to go over to the Kirov. Since the Kirov is still heading at me, I decide to prioritize him over the destroyer, because the destroyer is driving away from me. Both him and the battleship are going towards their cap to defend it from that the destroyer, the friendly destroyer that is capping them right now. I get a good torpedo salvo off on this Kirov, and he's going to go down after 2. So now I need to go help out my friendly destroyer who's capping the base. I'm glad he didn't come back and focus on me, because if he did, I would have been dead. So with my staggering, I have this dive bombers. I'm going to go after the Fuso. He's the most health. He is the most beneficial for me. And with dive bombers, it's not always easy to hit destroyers. I find it easier to hit destroyers with torpedoes. So we get 2 fires on him, which is always great. I like having 2 fires, and he uses his damage control. So as you can see on the minimap, I already have another 2 squadrons of planes on the way. 1 dive bomber and 1 torpedo. I want to get rid of him because there's friendly smoke out there, but I can see he's steering towards that friendly smoke. He's going to use it as well as that enemy destroyer. So I position my planes. He's trying to position away from me, and he also sees my torpedo planes coming in. So I drop on him, get 2 more fires, so that's really helpful. And again, I don't know why that destroyer is glitching out like that. But here come my torpedo planes. I'm going to get a good salvo on him. He looked like he was going to receive another hit from the other destroyers. I got 2 torpedoes, and he's going to be hurting for a little bit longer. He's getting close to that the smoke, so I'm going to do 1 last torpedo strike, and that's all I think I have time for. There's enough friendlies that are shooting at him that I'm not going to waste my resources on him again. So after that, I'm probably going to have to focus on the destroyer and help my my friendly battleship out. So as I'm waiting for my planes to return and get them, you know, refueled, rearmed, and out there, I get spotted. So I was trying to figure out where I was going to go next. I was thinking about going center, but now that the Phoenix is coming at me, I'm going to have to maneuver for him. So what I obviously do is I rev up my engines, and I'm then going to have to turn at him, because I just need to close the distance. In the very worst case, I'll ram him. So I immediately get my 2 dive bombers, and I group them up so that way I can maximize my damage output. Do a strike, get 3 hits on him, 2 fires. That's going to really help. And he does use his damage control right there. So that's good. So if I get another fire, in the worst case, he'll just go down with me. So we're going to line him up with our torpedoes while dodging his torpedoes, and hopefully we can get rid of him before he does too much damage to us. So that's 1, 2, and it would have been 3, but we only needed 2. And we thankfully dodged all those torpedoes from him. So now that that's all taken care of, there's only one person left in the whole game, the enemy battleship. And so I send my torpedo squadron off to him just to, steal a kill. I have 4, maybe the 5th will get me cracking. So I obviously gave a good compliment to that Phoenix. He was in the right spot. I just got, some good torpedo strikes on him, and that's the reason why I don't like those islands. I don't like to be it because there's no way to maneuver. I couldn't maneuver very well, so my only option was to charge him, to ram him if possible, and his only option, he couldn't evade it, and that's why I don't like about it. So as you can see, um, I'm going after this battleship. Even if I was going to get some strikes on him, it wouldn't have gotten much. But there's 7 seconds left, and I actually don't get the kill, and my torpedoes actually don't reach it because we're about to cap in 5 seconds. So just slow down the replay just based on how World of Warships replays work. So that's the game. So obviously that was a victory. I received 308,000 credits and 5,404 experience. I don't have any flags or any other buffers on this. I don't run a premium account, but we received all that for 113,000 damage caused by 10 torpedo hits and 14 bombs. We sank 4 ships, earned high caliber arsonist devastating strike, and going over the team score, you can see we had a base experience of 1,800, which is pretty good, and we beat our next friendly by 700 or 600 XP. So that's always good when you have that big of a margin. We beat the enemy by 1,000, but of course there's the victory bonus, so it doesn't really compute. As you can see, as I said before, we did a total of 113,000 damage caused by bombs, torpedoes, and fires. So that was my game in the Ryujo. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it and also watching it again. Watching your replays is always fun, especially when you know you did well. What do you guys think of my strategy of staggering? I know a lot of other CV players like to group up and try and go after those devastating strikes. And I know the XP system works in a way that you get more XP for doing more damage as a percentage to your targets. So what do you guys think? Is it priority to get the XP, or is it better to do this staggered kind of way of doing damage so that way you can better help your team? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video if you like it, and please subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I know I'm very beginning, but thanks guys for watching. My name is Van Rustic. Take care.